If you've been feeling like you're in a rut, you have come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to show you what you can do to raise your own vibrational frequency in a way that your physical reality will be positively affected by the work that you put into raising your own energetic frequency. Hi there, beautiful souls. I'm Michèle Duquet. Welcome to my channel, Soulful and Unplugged, a channel about the spiritual awakening journey where I show you how to live a more joyful life by helping you navigate your human journey through your soul's perspective. This is the very first installment of a new series I created called the Masterclass Series. I will create a playlist for this that I will link in the descriptions below, as well as right up here. Think of this first installment as a workshop that you can refer to over and over again and gauge your progress as you work your way through raising your own vibrational frequency, especially if you're not seeing any concrete changes in your life. This will help you remember that you are doing a lot of work at the vibrational level. It's just not showing up yet at the concrete level. So you can refer to all of the different chapters and different sections in the timestamps below, as well as down there is a timeline with all of the chapters and the chapter titles that'll pop up. This will probably be a long video, so take it at your own pace. Please be gentle with yourself. Find a space where you can be self-loving, because this is deep work. We're not going to work at the superficial level. We're going to go deep into how to truly raise and keep your vibration at a higher level in a way that you see changes in your life. We can all relate to the typical ways of raising your vibration, laughing, singing, dancing, listening to music. All of that are great. They really do work, but we're going to go deeper. We're going to go in a place that will, yes, raise your vibration, but actually show you how to keep it there in a consistent way. And you really can find yourself feeling more joyful, but it is through the deeper layers that we're going to work on. So while being high vibe and staying high vibe sounds great, but it's just, quite frankly, unrealistic. We're human beings. We will have human things happen to us. Over time, sometimes what we've done is we've adopted certain thought patterns and certain energetic patterns that do not serve us. So these habits can be changed, and these thought patterns can be changed in a way that actually shifts us from a certain energetic field to a new one. But that takes work, that takes commitment, and that takes consistency. I love the imagery of digging a trench. Think of your thought patterns as digging a trench. Every time you think the same thoughts, you're digging the same trench over and over and over again. And at some point, the trench gets to be so deep that you're literally in a rut, and it becomes really hard to get out of there. With these 8 ways that I'm going to teach you today, it's going to be like a ladder to get yourself out of that trench. It's going to show you what thought patterns need to be changed, and how, yes, it can shift instantaneously at the energetic level. For it to show up in your concrete world, it needs more work on your part. So get ready to work, and here we go. This first one may seem a little too simple, but it's actually pretty amazing. Set the intention. Setting the intention is like placing the ladder in the trench. You're not yet going up the ladder, you're not yet digging yourself out of the trench, but the intention is at least the ladder. So take a moment now to come up with a statement, a simple sentence in the present moment that states a change in your energetic frequency. If you're having a hard time coming up with one, you can use this. My energetic vibration is raised and its frequency is high and joyous. So what setting an intention actually does is it gives you that willingness to move out of the rut that you're in. Because sometimes when we're in a rut, part of the problem is we don't want to get out of that rut because it's oddly comfortable. It's what we know, and it seems insurmountable to get from here to there. And setting an intention actually kind of kickstarts a willingness in you to just start. It also sends out a call to the universe saying that this is now what you are intending for yourself. That is very powerful. In a way, it's kind of like doing an inventory where you're at right now and accepting where you're at right now. And then setting the intention is kind of like creating a roadmap to a place you want to go to. So you accept where you're at right now and you see where you want to go to. The intention is the bridge to there. It's the road that will get you there. And the ladder. All right, too many imageries. The second thing you can do to raise and keep your vibration higher is meditate. Through meditation, you can instantly shift your vibration. Now, it may not last, but it will instantly shift you from one vibrational state to another. If you make a commitment to meditate every day, preferably in the morning, like first thing in the day, it really sets the tone for the day. But that meditation will shift and raise your vibration. And if you do it every day, you can see how that will help you maintain that vibration. It's something that you can actually have control over. And that's a good feeling when you do feel a certain sense of being out of control. It's a commitment that you'll have to make no matter how you're feeling. In fact, the worse you feel, the more effective the meditation will be. And you know, the other thing that's kind of a strange human characteristics, the worse we feel, the less we'll feel like meditating. And yet, if we meditate when we're feeling low and just in a rut and not good and feeling stuck, this will have the most powerful impact because it will absolutely shift your vibration. And the memory of that will stay with you. The next time you feel bad, you'll say, you know what, when I meditated, I actually did feel better afterwards. Something did shift, so I'm going to try that again. If you're looking for a guided meditation, I recommend my energy body meditation. I'll link that up here as well as in the descriptions below. I've also created a meditation playlist and I will link that in the descriptions as well. So this third way may make you want to go, ugh. Basically, it's just an acceptance that this work is not instantaneous and that it will take effort and dedication and work on your part. And I think one of the things that we find most frustrating is that it takes time. Some people want it to happen in a day or in an instant. And the idea that it will take time is sometimes difficult to swallow. So it's important to catch yourself when you're feeling frustration, when you want things to change and things aren't changing. It is really vital to develop patience. Patience is something you cultivate. Some people, maybe you're born patient. I doubt it. I wasn't. You cultivate it. You form the new habit of patience. You develop it over time as you react differently to your frustrations. While it is possible to shift your energy instantly at the energetic level, it will take time to show up in your 3D reality. So you need to prime yourself for it. It's like you're getting yourself ready for it to show up in your 3D reality by knowing that it already exists at the energetic level. That's why it's important to keep your frustrations in check. If you're falling prey to your frustrations and you're reacting in a frustrated way, you are simply creating those thought patterns over and over and over again. You are in the vibration of frustration, and it will get in the way of you actually moving towards a new reality. So when you're feeling frustrated, that is the best time to cultivate patience. And if you hate hearing this, I can imagine some of you are hating what I'm saying right now. Well, that's an indication that if you were to develop patience and if you were to temper your frustration, you would get the best benefit from that. You would get the greatest shift from frustration to patience energetically. Impatience produces a very dense vibrational frequency that comes from frustration, self-pity, victimization, perspective, and from focusing on what's wrong rather than on what's right. By developing patience, you automatically counteract all those lower vibrational states by moving into acceptance, self-love, empowered perspective, and by developing a way of focusing on the steps you're taking that is really improving your life. And it's okay to feel frustrated because, we're human. But it's recognizing that your impatience is what is keeping you stuck. That's what's going to help you move out of being stuck. And it's no secret that healing, true healing, meaning we heal the pain that we want to run away from, this is vital to shifting your own energetic frequency and to raising that energetic level. And when I'm talking about true healing, I'm talking about the kind of healing that will keep your vibration at a higher level. And true healing comes in layers, kind of like an onion peel. You might think, okay, that's it. I am done with this issue. I can now move on from there, and then discover, like I did, that the same thing comes up again. And I remember thinking, because my issues were a lot of trauma in my childhood from my challenging relationship that I had with my father. And I remember, I kid you not, I would say things like, oh, this daddy thing again? I thought I was done with this. But it was just deeper layers and deeper layers. Once something rises to the surface and you heal that, there may still be more at a deeper level. And over time in my own life, I've come to see my father as my greatest teacher. And now when anything comes up from the past, I don't want to shut the door on it. I actually feel a lot of peace and love and compassion for everything that happened, and that beautiful, challenging relationship that I had with my father that taught me so much. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I am today. I am so grateful for everything that I went through because of who I am today. You'll know an issue still needs healing by how reactive you feel about it, or by thinking about it, certain feelings come up that are really not peaceful. It could be shame or guilt or anger or rage. And so you know that issue is still needing some healing. Now you may want to seek outside help, seek professional therapy. I've done that. I've done over the course of my life, one time 2 years therapy, another time 2 years, another time I got a spiritual coach. Like I always seeked outside help when I was dealing with deeper hurt and trauma, and there's no shame in asking for help. But the important thing is to recognize when you need healing and to seek to heal that part of you that you want to run away from. So if you find yourself being reactive or wanting to push those feelings down, push the memories down and repress it, instead of running away from it all, it's about moving into it, relaxing into those feelings through accessing a self-love that you're still developing. It really is a self-loving thing to move towards a certain pain in order to heal it. And that's why you may need some help, because to do this alone can be very tricky. And if it brings up the trauma again that re-traumatizes you, I would never want that to happen. So you can recognize within yourself what kind of healing you need to do and seek that healing. And as you move towards seeking that healing, your energy will start to shift in a direction that will also transform your life. So spending time healing those deeper layers of pain through therapy or shadow work or journaling will definitely shift your vibration, because it will free you from that emotional bondage that you have with your past. Imagine that freedom. It's possible. And when you're able to recall that past event with peace and forgiveness in your heart, you will have permanently raised and shifted your vibration. But that takes time, commitment, and consistency. Oh, and now we come to the fifth way you can raise and keep your vibration at a higher frequency. Forgiveness. I know, it's a really challenging thing to do, but there are ways that you can help yourself get there. Now, there's an important distinction I'd like to make when talking about forgiveness. It's a distinction between moving through the resentments rather than forcing yourself to let it go. It's about developing mindfulness and recognizing when resentments are coming up. It's about writing about those resentments and diving deep into everything that comes up around them. This is how you get yourself to a place of forgiveness in your heart. Forgiveness is not about forgetting what happened or ever allowing what was done to you to happen again. Forgiveness is how you free yourself from the pain. I find it really helpful to do a kind of inventory of myself as I write out my resentments. It helps me kind of to see what I've learned from the experience and maybe what character defects of mine were activated through the experience. It's very empowering to do this because it makes it possible to see what happened through a broader consciousness. Just to clarify, I am not talking about blaming yourself in any way if something terrible was done to you. In those cases, I really recommend therapy and finding a professional who's trained to deal with trauma and to help you go through that trauma. I've done this and I found it immeasurably helpful. It's not about forcing yourself to let it go. It's really about going deep within what is causing your resistance to that forgiveness. It's about having the courage to face the pain and becoming willing to forgive what or who caused the pain. One thing I found to be an incredibly powerful tool for forgiveness is prayer. Pray for the person who's hurt you or who's caused you pain. Pray for them to find peace. Pray for them to heal their own pain. I know it may take a while for you to get there, but once you're willing to try praying for that person, it's really going to show you a shift in yourself that you really didn't think was possible. You know, there's a saying that there's a lot of truth behind that saying, hurt people hurt people. And it's true. Someone who is kind and loving and has healed a lot of their own inner pain would never dreamed of causing pain to someone else. They would have compassion because they've healed their own pain. So if you can pray for whoever's hurt you to heal their own pain, it's going to not only heal you, but it's also going to heal them. The important thing to remember about forgiveness is that it is something that you do for you. It's something that you do to free yourself from the pain. And the freedom from those resentments and that pain will absolutely raise your own A super effective way to raise your vibration is by being of service. When we are of service to another, this not only shifts our focus but also our energy, because it brings us into the vibrational frequency of our generosity of spirit. It elevates our frequency to one of love for our fellow human, pet, planet. Whatever ignites your compassion in caring for something outside of yourself, this not only shifts your personal energy, but it also shifts the energy of another. Even praying is a way of being of service. Praying for someone is being of service. It's you using your heart, your mind, your spirit to be of service to someone or something outside yourself. And it doesn't need to be complicated either. Just something like picking up the phone and calling a friend that you haven't talked to for a while, asking them how they're doing, saying you were thinking about them. This is being of service. You'll be amazed how well this works to shift your frequency. Now, it's not about ignoring your own needs and sacrificing too much for others. Ignoring your own needs and feelings and stresses isn't being of service. Being of service is tapping into that space of love within your heart where your generosity of spirit exists. Now, if you're in a very challenging place, that's the time to ask for help. But if you're just feeling stuck or a little down or a little lonely, being of service will do wonders for your energetic frequency. This is an action step that will create a certain energetic momentum in you, and it'll help you get out of those thought patterns that keep you entrenched, like that trench that we talked about at the beginning. It'll help you get out of there and really create new thought patterns that will help you feel better. Oh boy, nothing can suck the energy out of you like worry. It's like a wave that comes over you and engulfs everything in its passage. So catch the wave. Okay, well, maybe a better energy is ride the wave to shore. Too many imageries. I was watching this video the other day about a woman who was celebrating her 112th birthday. And when the interviewer asked her, well, what was her secret to longevity? She said, well, don't worry. And she kept repeating, don't worry. Don't worry. I mean, she was amazing. They had this birthday party for her and she walked in and she started dancing and she's like 112. And then at the end, she kept saying, remember, don't worry. And there's a lot of wisdom in that. And even metaphysically speaking, catching yourself worrying is an amazing way to recognize that you are lowering your energy frequency with your thoughts. Catch yourself in a moment of worry and realizing that what you're doing with that worry is visualizing that reality. With your worry, you're inadvertently giving a spark of life into the energetic field where the energy of that worry exists. There's a story I love about this man who's sharing all of the terrible and traumatic experiences that he's had, and he's talking about it, and he says, yeah, I went through some terrible, terrible traumatic experiences. And then he paused and he went, a few of them actually happened. I love that story. It just really puts it into focus, and it's true because our worrying hasn't even happened yet, but we are potentially creating the possibility that it happens. So when you catch yourself worrying, switch your thoughts to all will be okay. All is well. All will be well. Take a deep breath in the moment. When you say that, you take a deep breath in and you say to yourself, all will be okay. We've all been down this path before where we stressed and worried about something that eventually passed. So just tell yourself, this too shall pass, and it always does. The last way that you can not only raise your vibrational frequency, but also keep it raised is, no surprise, consistency. Consistency in thoughts, meditation, mindfulness, patience, and compassion. This is actually probably the hardest thing to do of all the ways that I talked about. But if you're consistent about noticing when you're falling, and in that moment you choose any one of the ways mentioned here, this will absolutely shift your frequency and change your life for the better. Make this a part of your daily practice. Think of it as you forming a new habit. It takes time to form a new habit. And so if you're consistent, you will form these new thought patterns and these new habits. Have you ever heard of the 2190 rule? It's a rule that says that if you do a new habit for 21 days, you will have that new habit in you. And if after that you do it for 90 days, it will become a permanent part of your life. And it will really change your life for the better. And I'd say that's exactly how energy shifting works too. Now, I don't know about the 21 days and 90 days, but I can tell you that consistency and intentionally maintaining a certain energetic frequency will create a new energetic field where the new you exists. Okay, and I'm going to end this video with another imagery, but I'm going to use my arms. So, I like to explain it like this. This is your current reality. This is the current 3D density of what you're living. This is the energetic reality that you're creating. And as you are maintaining that new vibrational frequency, it rises and rises and rises. And if you keep consistently working at it, it'll come to a point where it will topple over the other reality, your old reality, and you will now be living in this new reality. It will raise your frequency, and that new frequency will be it. It's called collapsing energetic fields. The old one just collapses, and the new one is what is now the new reality. So there you have it, 8 ways that you can raise and keep your energetic frequency at a higher level. So let me know how you're doing as you work on shifting your frequency. And I want to send you lots of energetic support and love as you go through your journey. Mwah! Sending lots and lots and lots of love. Bye for now.